Oh. Ow. Oh. Not quite what I was looking for. Oh. Welcome back to Extra Holiday Games. I'm Extra Holiday, and we're gonna go fight Kyogre, or Kyogre, whatever you want to pronounce it as. I honestly still don't know the official pronunciation. I like to call it Kyogre. So, what? Yeah. But my knowledge of Japanese tells me it's probably Kyogre. Kyogre, something like that. At least in the original language, you know. In its original language. Ah, still gotcha. Whatever you're called, you're still a scrub. Ah, frick. There we go. Ooh, that's not a great place to get frozen. Whip. Okay, almost got it. No, there it goes. Although, this cave-like environment does remind me that I have a new D&D campaign coming up. It won't be on the internet, at least not the first 6 sessions of it. That's kind of what we agreed on. But it will exist, and it will contribute to the world in ways that you might see in later streamed sessions. Oh my god. Yeah, we had session 0 with slightly more than half the party not long ago. So they're pretty much set up to go. I mean, there was some technical difficulties with Map Tool that I didn't quite figure out on the day, so I'm gonna have to. There's gonna have to be like session 0.5 to figure out when to do that, or when to. Because I think I actually figured it out, but to fill them in on how to use Map Tool and stuff. But they're basically started with, you know, their characters, and they picked a campaign, which is neat. One of the things I needed them to do, because I currently have 3, maybe 4 campaigns. Not necessarily fully written, but ready to be written. That's the thing that kind of ended up happening with the last campaign, was I had, you know, the first maybe 1 or 2 sessions prepared, but it got to the point where I was like, you know, maybe it'd be smarter if I just prepare for each session as it comes up, right? Like, when one session ends, I start preparing for the next session, because I knew basically where I wanted the campaign to go, but there was no way I could have predicted every action my players were going to take. So it was probably going to be pretty important for me to leave room to improvise. So that's kind of what I did, and I imagine this campaign might be somewhat similar. It is. I don't want to say the name just yet, but it is likely going to be a specific campaign. I mean, we still need 2 votes out of 5, but the 3 votes were kind of unanimous, so. I mean, there might be some discussion if the other 2 are very much not for the campaign that was picked. But we'll see. We will see. But it should be fun. This is a group of players that I have never played with, so a fresh new party, and it should be interesting. I do want to note it's kind of funny. So far we still have 2 characters that need to be made, but our 3 party members so far are a Dragonborn wizard, specifically a blue Dragonborn wizard, a human fighter, and an Eladrin sorceress. That's right, she's a sorceress who very much insists on the term sorceress. Okay. So yeah, those are our 3 current party members. And the funny thing is, I had them actually roll for stats. I actually asked them, like, hey, do you want to roll for stats, or do you want to use these stat arrays that I have? And they're like, we want to roll for stats. And I was like, okay. So I had them roll for stats. And one of them rolled really, really well. That would be the wizard that did. Another didn't roll very well at all. That would be the fighter. So what we ended up with was a fighter with 16 strength and a wizard with 18. Which is, I mean, the fighter is still tankier, even though he's also got lower constitution. And he's got like a higher AC. So that's good. But I used the term in session 0. Our party has an unreasonably buff wizard. It's an interesting thing. I think her dex was... well, the wizard is a male, I think. The player's female. Anyway, I think the wizard's dex is also 18, if I remember correctly. I think it's like 18, 18, 16, 16, 13, 13. Something like that is their stats. So it was kind of absurd what they rolled. And then the fighter rolled a 16 and then all 11s. And normally, if they had really pushed me to, I probably would have done this. Normally, I would have let the fighter re-roll. But I think it'll be kind of interesting. And it's an interesting challenge for me as a DM to be like, okay, how do I balance these fights so that the wizard isn't super overpowered and the fighter isn't useless? And I have an idea as to how to do that. But I'll have to see. I'll have to see what I can do. Because, yeah, it's it's interesting. Oh yeah, and the sorceress is kind of somewhere in the middle. Decent stats. I will be interested to see how the other two shape out as well. Because the other two players are actually significantly more experienced. So, actually, if I remember right, the order wasn't exactly correct for the wizard stats, but I think the numbers were. Because I'm pretty sure it was 16 intelligence, but whatever. Ugh, okay. But yeah, it's yeah. I'm also curious to see what they will what they'll pick for characters, because character creation is one of my favorite parts of Dungeons and Dragons, or pretty much any tabletop role-playing game, or just role-playing game in general. Particularly one with very in-depth systems like Dungeons and Dragons. So, and honestly, one of these players probably has more experience than I do as both a player and a dungeon master. So I'll be curious to see what he picks. It'll be interesting. We were supposed to have our session 0 for those two the other day, but something came up, so we're gonna have to figure out a different day for it, unfortunately. I don't know, maybe today, we'll see. We will see. That is the unfortunate thing about these sorts of games. The hardest part is usually actually just getting everyone together at a single time. Especially for an adult. Because, you know, everyone's got their own stuff they ought to be doing at any given time, and a lot of people just can't prioritize Dungeons & Dragons. Like, would make it a lot easier to actually, you know, play the game. It's a little frustrating, but it's just, it kind of comes with the territory, you know? But at least we figured out what day we want to play. Right? We're at that point. We figured out a day that to actually play the game, but I still need to get a couple people set up. Well, technically everyone, since I couldn't figure out the issues with that tool right then and there. So, yeah, it's just something that's gotta be done. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Alright, what do we want? We want coins. Comes right after the big. There it is. Beautiful. If I get enough coins, I can get an extra ball. Blink. Nope, don't do it. I feel like I need to just stop doing the thing where I hold the flipper while it's going around the back. That has led to far too many gutter balls. I don't think that's what they're called in pinball, but you get the idea. I haven't gone bowling in a while. I like bowling, but I haven't gone in a while. There is a bowling alley in the town nearest me, so could probably go there with some people, but again, like, getting people together, it's hard. Yeah, well. It's kind of a blessing and a curse. Probably mostly a blessing, but somewhat of a blessing and a curse in these scenarios that I actually kind of have significantly more free time than most people do. Currently being unemployed. That makes it so it's you have a bit of time, you know, and you're not working on getting a job, or in my case, streaming or YouTube or what have you. Oh, hey. Convenient. So yeah, that's... But yeah, that makes it just kind of all the more frustrating. Like, why don't you all have the same amount of free time I do? And honestly, I don't know if it's 100% fair to myself to say that I have a bunch of free time, because I do spend a lot of time actually working on things. It's just that my schedule's not as rigid as most people's, because I'm not, you know, employed by someone else. Right? The time I spend working on either this channel or streaming on Twitch or working on whatever other projects, I can move that time around if I need to. It's not that it's not a significant amount of time, it's just that that time is flexible, you know? It can be... It's not... It's easy for me to schedule around it, because... Yeah, I'm kind of the only one holding me to getting it done. So... Well, me and the algorithm, anyway. We all love that word as YouTubers. And I guess just internet personalities in general. Algorithm. The algorithm. Who knew he could dance? That's what my family was saying about me when they saw me in that musical. I was in a musical recently. I don't remember if I mentioned it. But yeah. Yeah, I was in a show and it went well. So honestly, I think it's kind of weird. I mean, like, the first couple shows I did weren't amazing reception wise, you know. I mean, it was high school, so like a lot of the people were just there to see their own kids and family members in doing a thing. But, you know, I still got a laugh or two on occasion. So that was neat. But since I've been doing theater recently, like, pretty much all the shows I've done were very well received. Oh. Nope. Actually, that helped. Nice. So yeah, it's weird. It's weird to me that, and I guess I should probably just be grateful for it, but it's weird to me that I haven't done a show that's flopped yet. But maybe I'll do a show that flops next time. Because as for this episode, that's a wrap. Watch me lose all my lives within the first 10 seconds of the next episode.